Hi, welcome to a product review by Robojax. My name is Ahmad Shamshiri, presenting this review from Canada. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about this charger and discharger controller XYDJ. Let's get started with this. This is sold on eBay, AliExpress and Amazon under the name of charger discharger. On Amazon, some people are listing it as their own brand. And here on eBay, if you type charge discharger protection, you get this. Unfortunately, majority of Chinese products have no model number, and you see that it's a long title, and this is only referring to this module at the moment. It might change within a month or a year because there are more models will come. This is sold around $6, around $5.80 Canadian, and on Amazon sometimes you might buy it for $15. Here on AliExpress they have labeled it as 18650 lithium battery charger discharger protection circuit integrated, and whatever text they have they will put it on the title. This one you can control a battery with an upper limit and lower limit. In every battery we have a starting point that below that the voltage will be unacceptable, and above that will not be also acceptable or damage the battery in both cases, so it can control it. It has multiple modes, and the mode can be controlled based on voltage, and also you can set the time. For example, when the charge starts, the relay is on, so the charger is connected to your battery. You can set the time regardless of the amount. Let's say when the charger starts, you say you can charge it only for 30 minutes, and after that, regardless if the voltage is reached to that upper limit or not, it will be turned off. And also it has some voltage range control, two modes for voltage range, and you can set it to keep the voltage within those range on, and beyond this range off or on. And this is just a commonly used batteries. You can change the specific battery voltage from the manufacturer of the battery that you purchase, but these are general values. For example, if the battery is rated at 6 volts, then the charge will start at 6 and it will stop at 7.2. For 12 volts battery, it will be 12 volts, because anything below 12 is not acceptable for 12 volts battery, and the charge can go up to 14.4 volts. And for 24, these are the value 36, 48. So you will set upper and lower limit of the voltage on this controller. Charge will start if the voltage is below this, and the charge will stop if the voltage is above this. We just monitor the battery. Here is how you connect the wiring. For this, you need separate voltage of 6 to 40 volts because the operating voltage of internal circuit is 5 volts. So we need at least 6 volts so it can being down converted using this chip, and it can accept up to 40 volts in here. You cannot share it with this because the relay will connect and disconnect, and this will be interrupted, so it must be separate. And the voltage of the battery or the battery that you're charging cannot exceed 60 volts because the input voltage that you're connecting here to be sensed is a maximum set to be 60 volts. Above that will damage this device. Of connecting your charger in mode 1, that's the case where your charger is connected to AC power. The negative is, for example, connected directly to the battery. The positive, instead of going directly, it goes through the relay, which the relay will turn it on and off through this controller. And keep that in mind that in this case, in mode 1, this relay can handle up to 10 ampere. And your charger cannot charge more than 10 ampere. If you exceed the current, this relay will burn and there will be hazard of fire. But there is a solution, which we have to go to mode 2. In mode 2, we are connecting your AC with the 2 wires to the charger like this. One wire of the charger goes to AC. The other wire of the charger, when it goes to the AC, you cut it and it becomes 2 pieces, and you connect it in here. So in this case, the relay will connect and disconnect the AC, which means in 10 ampere at 240 volts, it will be 240 watt charger. It's huge. So this way you can charge up to, let's say, 50 ampere or even more, depending on the charger power. So your charger can be, let's say, in region of 220 volts will be 2200 watt, and in regions of 110 volts it will be 10 times 120, it will be 1200 watt charger can be controlled. And then the two wire of your charger will be connected to the battery and also will be connected to the sensing terminal, so it can be sensed. Then we have a relay. The three contacts of a relay are provided in here. There's a command that you will connect your charger to this point, to these two, and these are the voltage from the battery. These are the sensing voltage, which continuously monitor. They have polarity plus and minus, so you will connect your battery here. At the moment I have connected the battery here and I have connected the power supply here. The power is connected, doesn't matter, it's 12 volts at the moment, but this is my battery, 13.9 volts. This shows continuously the status of the battery. Amount of load that you can control with this relay is 10 ampere. It can handle up to 10 ampere. And we have a back converter here, XL1509 will get up to 40 volts and converts it to 5 volts. So microcontroller underneath of this, and the battery, then the relay of 5 volts will operate. We have a polarity protection diode in case if you connect the polarity reverse, it will be protected as well. And we have 4 buttons here: stop, set, up and down, which I'm going to explain it next. These 3 terminals at this point, these are used to control from serial monitor. From terminal you can control or send a command or read the values from here. And these 2 points are out and ground. You can control external relay if you don't need this, or if you don't want to use it because of the rating, you can control larger relay. The maximum is 100 milliampere. From this one you can draw. At the moment this is drawing 10 milliampere because this is not on, and when this is on it's 90 milliampere. This is now drawing 90 milliampere. If in case if you want to control this from for different application from a computer, you could do so, or maybe a microcontroller such as Arduino or Raspberry Pi. You can do communication, set these values. You can find documentation online, and if I find any documentation or proper link, I will provide the link in the description. This is the wire, the AC wire that goes to the battery charger, and I've cut this at this point. When I plug this into AC, and we will connect these 2 terminals to the relay, and the other side goes to the charger, and from charger you can connect it to your battery. And here for this mode I'm demonstrating it. This is an AC bulb, and assume that this is also your charger, so we will control it. Now let's explain the mode. In each mode we will set the lower limit and the upper limit. In this case we are using a 12 volts battery. The value I've set here for this is for a specific battery. Let's say 12 volts is the lower and 14.4 is the upper limit. You have to look at the manufacturer data sheet to see what is the value, but this is the rated voltage. That's the maximum charge voltage. When the voltage drops below this, the charge will start, and the charge will go higher until it reaches this 14.4 volts, and after that it will turn off. Now let's have a look at the mode of operation number 1, or U1. We have a lower limit or nominal voltage of the battery. Below this will not be accepted, for example, for 12 volts, and 14.4 volts is the maximum that you can reach for the charging. You have to look at the data sheet of a manufacturer for the specific battery. This is just an example. You can go with a 6-volt battery or 36 or whatever voltage you have. This is just an example, and this is my voltage range. For U1, the device will be on when the voltage is below 12 volts. So if it is, let's say, 11.5, it will be on. It will keep on until it reaches 14.4 volts. When it reaches 14.4 volts, it will turn off, and it doesn't allow any extra voltage or charge to the battery. Then when the voltage drops below 14.4 volts for whatever reason, it will not start charging because it has to go below this to turn on. So when it reaches below, it will turn on again. Now let's go to U1 mode. To go to the mode, we press set and hold it for 2 seconds and release. Once you release, you will see the mode. We go with the upper or lower. It says up or down. Let's go to U1. After that, press this. Now for the upper limit, this is 14. When this is flashing, you can go up and down whatever voltage you want. Let's say 14.4 volts, and press this, and that's for lower. After that, it blinks, so you can set your lower limit with these up and down. So we are setting it to 12 volts, and you can hold it for few seconds, and as you can see, U1 is now activated. Now because it's 10.7 volts, the charger is now turned on. Now this is connected to the charger and the battery is being charged, and that is the voltage from the battery, the 2-wire. We see that the battery is 10.7 volts. So because the voltage is below this value, the charger is on. Now we go up to 14.4 volts. I'm increasing the voltage now. So it is off. Now see the effect of it. If we go down, it will not turn on. It will turn on only when it reaches back to 12 volts. This will not turn off until we reach 14.4 volts. And now this is the operation of U2. This is exactly the same as U1 with the except of time limit or timer. It will be on below 12 volts, and the charge will start until 14.4. When it reaches above the 14.4, it will go turn off. But there is a condition that this will continue staying on with the setting time. If this, let's say, if you set the time 30 minutes, in 30 minutes, if the charge is not complete, it will shut off. So you can set your on time to control the charge regardless of the voltage. And now let's check the U2. Press for 2 seconds and release. That's U1. Press up. We are at U2. Then press this again. Now this is the lower limit. Let's say 12 volts. If you want to change it, you can change it, and then press this again. That's upper limit. Now we can also change it. I'm just leaving it at 14.4. Now do you see OP? That's the time. You can change the time. This is minute. It goes up to 999 minutes, but for this demonstration, I'm going to set it for 1 minute so we can control this. And then now press this and release. It shows the time. Anytime if you want to see in which mode you are, just press this, it tells you the mode. Now the voltage is 14 point, it shows now the voltage 13.7. That's the battery voltage. Now let's set it for the lower than 12 volts. You will see that it will turn on. Now it is turned on. This on time, if that 1 minute reaches, within 1 minute, for example, we set it, if this reaches 14.4, it will turn off. But now let's go back this time. Now it's on. Let's say the battery is like this. If this takes longer than 1 minute, the timer will turn off. We just wait for it now. The same way you can do it for 30 minutes or 1 hour, whatever you set. And the battery is not increasing, it's staying the same. Even the voltage has not reached 14.4 volts, it will turn off. Now it turned off. Now let's have a look at the U3. Again, we have lower limit and upper limit. We want to discharge the battery. So your battery will be connected to a discharger or a load or something that you're discharging. And the job of that would be that if anything, the discharger will be off. Anything below this, it will not be on. This will have a different operation here, but it will be off. It will be on when the voltage goes above 14.4 volts. So what it means is that the battery is reached above the charge, it will turn on. But when the voltage slowly drops, it will not go off below 14.4. It will be on until 12 volts, and it will turn off when it reaches below 12 volts. Now let's have a look at the U3. Press and hold for 2 seconds. U2, we are going up. U3, press this set again. That's a lower limit, 12 volts. You can change it. And then I'm going to upper limit. Again, you can change it if you wish, 14.4. And then this, hold it for 2 seconds. And now it shows we are at U3. And now the voltage is 11.2 volts. The discharger is now off, the load that you are connecting. When this LED is on, we know that the discharger that you have connected here will be off. Now I'm increasing the voltage. Let's say the voltage, the battery that you have connected is 12 volts. Because it's not above the limit, it will not discharge. So we are going to 14.4 volts. When that reaches, we will turn it off. I'm increasing it. Now the discharger is on and the battery is being drained. Now the voltage at the moment will be drained slowly. It reaches below 14.4 volts. It continuously keep it on. Let's say the voltage dropped. You see it's on 14 and 13. I'm decreasing it. Now at 12 it will be turned off because we don't need to discharge it more than this. Now U4 is exactly the same as U3 with the exception that it has a timer. The time that it is on or discharge the battery depends on the time that you set. So it will be off below 12 volts, and if the battery is above 14 volts, the discharger will be on. When it goes back to 12 volts, it will still be on, so it can discharge the battery. But this on time depends on the timer that you set. If it is above, if the time reaches to the time set that you have, let's say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it will turn off regardless of the voltage. Now let's check U4, press and hold. And go up. U4, press this again lower limit, you can set that as you wish, and then upper limit, and then upper limit, and now here we have time. Now you can set whatever time you want, but let's set it to 1 and hold this. Exit, it blinks few seconds and then it shows the current voltage value. Now our voltage is 11.9 volts. Let me increase it. 12 volts, it's not on until it reaches 14 volts. It will not turn on. When it reaches 14.4 volts, the discharger will stay on. I'm increasing the voltage. Now the discharger is on. If the time doesn't reach, now the time is 1 minute. Let me just reduce it before the time. It is off. But if this is reaching another, for example, 14.4 volts, now it's discharging the battery, and now regardless of the voltage, when the time reaches, it will be turned off. Let's wait for this. I'm just leaving it, showing you the counter so you can see it is 1 minute. Now it is turned off. Now this is a voltage range to control something on. Let's say you want to monitor a voltage, that the voltage must be within 12 and 14.4 volts in order for the output to be on. What it means is below 12 volts it will be off, and it will be on within the range, and it will be off outside this range. Regardless of how it increases or decreases, it always will be on at this point. Now let's have a look at the U5. Press it for a few seconds, go up, that's U5. Press this again, that's the lower limit. Let's say change it, I want to change it to 16 volts, and then upper limit, let's change it to 24 volts, and then hold it to exit. That's now it will turn on. I'm increasing the voltage, 16 volts, it is on. If I go below 16 volts it will be off. Again I'm going 16 volts, and it is on until it reaches 24 volts. It is off now. And again, as soon as you come below 24, it is on, and it is off below 16. So it keeps that range for you. Now let's have a look at the U6. U6 is the opposite of U5. It will keep off within this range, meaning if you set upper and lower limit, it will be on below 12 volts and above 14.4 volts, below the lower limit and above the upper limit, and it will be off in this range. Let's have a look at it. Press for a few seconds, go up 6, and then press this again, that's a lower limit. Let's set it to 15. And then press this again for upper limit. Let's set it to 20. You get it will go faster. Let's press it for 2 seconds. That's on U6. Now it will be turned off within that range, which means it is off. Now if I go above 20, it will go on. It is on now. Below 20 it automatically off, and it will be on when it reaches 15. Below 15 on. Within the boundary it is off, and above 20 it is off. This is a very nice device. I wish it had some kind of box and proper casing to protect it, but maybe you can do a 3D print and properly put it in a case. This relay is keeping it up, so you have to create some kind of box. with terminals to be accessible by screwdriver from the top and left. Other than that, this is a nice device. All the tests that I did, it works perfectly, except for some lithium batteries that the voltage goes below the limit, it will get damaged, so it should disconnect it. But still, this is applying charge, it will not work for those type of batteries. Make sure to read the manufacturer recommendation for those batteries. Thank you for watching. This was the review of XYDJ1 presented by Robojax. If you learned something and found this useful, please thumb up, as this will help my video in the search algorithm of YouTube. If you have comment or question, post it at the comment section below. I try to answer and reply. If you want to get updates of my upcoming videos, you may subscribe now.